All right, so the next story I want to talk about is also a sports story, and this one I have this one I have an interest in for a less personal reason. So if you don't follow the world of European football, what we call soccer here in the States, um, Manchester United just traded Cristiano Ronaldo to Al-Nassr, and why is a socialist discussing this on a socialist show? Well, there's a reason for this. So not only am I bitter that my favorite team is losing one of their stars, the real thing that bothers me here is whether it's the World Cup or these individual trades to teams in Saudi Arabia or Qatar or what have you. What's happening here is what's called sports washing, where an entity or a country takes their ability to host events, their ability to prop up sports teams. So, by the way, this is also happening with the Live Golf tournament. The Saudis are hosting; they're paying Trump a ton of money for, and so ultimately, this is them saying, hey, look over here, look at this great job we're doing with sports, and just don't pay attention to our human rights record. And Al Nasser is a Saudi team. And what are we just supposed to forget that Saudi Arabia is starving and conducting a genocide on an entire country of Yemen, and they're using American-made weapons and American tax dollars to do it? Are we just supposed to forget about that because now the great Cristiano Ronaldo is going to play soccer for Al Nassr? Are we going to have these international friendlies between teams and just pretend that nothing's going on and just push aside the moral problems with engaging with these countries? These countries should be pariahs. Could you imagine? Could you imagine a situation where the worst country you can think of is just getting away with whatever it is that you don't like about them because their ability to host sports events well, right? This is what happened with the World Cup. This is what's happening now with this trade to Al Nassr. And by the way, other players are being paid exorbitant amounts of money to go to these teams. And this is how it starts, right? You just pick off a few, and then suddenly it becomes normalized. Oh, you just casually trade players to Saudi teams. You just casually allow the World Cup, where we have literally unknown amounts of migrant worker deaths building those stadiums, to occur in places like Qatar and Saudi Arabia and Oman. It's difficult because the world of sports is primarily about entertainment, and people don't really want to think about politics, and they don't want to think about all the things that happen in the world while they're watching sports. But people are realizing, countries are realizing that they can use sports to make to wash their image, to make themselves look better than they are. And if we, as viewers, as sports fans, don't put that together and don't make a point to say, no, we're not going to give our eyeballs, we're not going to give our time, we're going to leave disapproving messages to our clubs who trade players to these teams, then we're just as complicit in this sports washing as the people who are actively perpetrating the sports washing. Sports are a great thing. They're fun to watch, they're fun to play. But we need to make sure that the worst actors in the world are not taking advantage of people's love of sports and their willingness to detach from the politics and from the and from the controversy to just enjoy sports and use that to their advantage to effectively get rid of and stop conversations about what they do when the sports are not on, what they're doing behind the scenes, what they're doing as a matter of policy. Because sports is not a policy, right? The purpose of politics is to advance policy, is to see the right policies in the world. So we just need to make sure that as sports fans that we are keeping our eyes open and we are saying, no, we reject this. We are not going to watch Saudi teams. We are not going to watch Qatari teams, right? We're not going to approve of FIFA allowing these nations who do these terrible things to host these types of events. So, again, it's really hard to do it. It's always easier to just kind of pretend that all the controversy behind sports doesn't exist. And we just talked about American football and controversies there, and people have been ignoring that for a long time. But we need to be better, bolder, and wiser as sports fans. And I hope that this trade to Al-Nassr is so egregious that and receives so much backlash that teams will reconsider, and players especially, right? Because they have a lot of power here, and players will reconsider doing this, and not be part of this horrendous sports washing scheme.
Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you liked it, throw a like on it, share with your friends, and subscribe for more of our content. You can also find all of our videos and clips on youtube.com. Just search Let Them Eat Bread and you'll find all of our content. Alright guys, see you next time. Bye for now.